Welcome back to Views with Hughes, your agenda free news. I'm Jerome Hughes, the creator and founder of the channel. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel and also click the bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So news broke out a while ago that Walter Hamada, the president of DC Films under Warner Brothers, is leaving out or expected to leave out of DC and Warner Brothers Discovery right following the release of the movie Black Album, which is starring Dwayne Johnson next year in 2023. Okay, so it says here, according to comicbook.com, that Walter Hamada, who left Warner Brothers New Line Cinema imprint in 2018, came to come to DC Films, is likely to leave Warner Brothers Discovery altogether following the release of Black Adam. All right, so this is some big news since like he was still with the company, but his power has been stripped down as of late. Okay, so it also says here further, Hamada, who was reportedly on the brink of leaving the studio following last week's news that Batgirl has been shelved to avoid paying taxes, could be sticking around until the release of that movie. Now, it's also widely expected to be a huge hit due to the small part of the presence of the superstar Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. All right, so it's also basically stating that like not only is it going to be popular, but it's going to be further popular with Dwayne Johnson. In my opinion, I think that a lot of people has been hyping for this movie, but at the same time, they still got their doubts because of the fact that, you know, it was done under the guise and the rulership of, yes, I say the rulership of Ann Sarnoff, who was the former CEO of Warner Brothers. Okay, so continuing on, and it's like also people are curious to see Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam, how he's going to do with it. Okay, now I remember seeing the trailer. He has a really standard American English accent. I wonder how they're going to have it. Is he going to start with the accent, or will he be speaking Egyptian? Who knows? Okay, so in 2021, Hamada extended his deal as president of DC Films into 2023. At the time, it seemed like the beginning of a beautiful friendship, allowing him to be a part of the Flash's apparent soft reboot of the feature film line. That includes the introduction of DC's multiverse to the film canon, which the return of Michael Keaton's Batman and the appearances of the alternate Earth doppelgangers of the film's characters. Okay, so in other words, like the censorship of Supergirl and Batgirl, and then having them to replace Superman and Batman, and then I'll still have Wonder Woman, and there'll be the female-led superhero trinity. Okay, so my thing is, like, usually in Hollywood, whenever like it's an announcement that somebody's leaving, usually that's Hollywood talk of them being fired, or like, but in this case, it seems like, you know, he's not going to look to renew his contract, or maybe David Zaslav's not going to renew his contract either. So this is some pretty big news right here. And like, you know, a lot of people wanted him gone, myself included. And it's like others we just weren't sure like what was going to happen, if he was going to stick around or what, or if he was going to follow in line with it. But most likely he decided that he wasn't going to do that because of the fact that he still enjoyed what Ann Sarnoff and others was putting out there. Okay, so Hamada has been a visible and sometimes controversial presence since Fandom back in 2020, where he announced that DC had planned to mount an ambitious state that split its releases between theatrical and straight to HBO Max fare. Oh, yeah, I remember that. I was watching that DC Fandom and everything, and he announced that, and it was like, okay, so y'all just want to lose money. Okay, y'all just basically want to lose more money. All right, because they figured that, you know, they want to go ahead and get more people to subscribe to HBO Max more. I mean, that was going to happen regardless, but you didn't have to release the new movies onto HBO Max. And especially especially with the movies that didn't do well. Okay, so it's like an iffy. But the only big thing that did well on HBO Max that they didn't want up there was the Snyder cut of Justice League. All right. So, and moving along, it stated like the multiverse approach project to Hamada's sensibilities. The exec had previously said that under his watch, DC would greenlight promising projects. I wonder what that meant. Could that mean that, you know, like the projects that had like politically current political stuff in it, stating that, you know, they're trying to force diversity on people rather than just letting it happen naturally and everything. And it's like, you know, what exactly do they mean by that? I mean, recently, now I'm pretty sure the projects that might have also been like rumored to be pending or to be scrapped includes like what the CW has coming, what had coming up, which was Gotham Knights and everything. You know, that based, I'm pretty sure it might be based on the video game itself, but they had plans for Gotham Knights to be on CW, but it's still pending. So most likely that might be scrapped out. All right, a bunch of, you know, superheroes looking like models and everything, with their alter egos look like models. But anyway, the exec had previously said that under his watch, DC would greenlight promising projects, even if it meant having more than one version of characters, because the multiverse allowed it. This philosophy allowed Joker, the Batman, and Superman and Lois to launch in spite of those characters already existing in DC's main film canon. It also was a shift from the company strategy that used to routinely pull characters out of the Arrowverse when they were wanted for the movies. Okay, so yeah, that a lot of people, it didn't really go so well for the people. Like that also might have been what further led to DC Films downfall. Walter Hamada, okay, he was quoted saying, what the multiverse allows you to do is lean into this idea of you can tell it just great stories and you don't have to be really as focused on as it has to fit in the same continuity. Hamada explained during Fandom, on one Earth we have this Gal and Jason and Ezra version of the Justice League, and we can continue telling those stories, while on the separate Earth we can have a more grounded real year two Batman and build out that world and not really worry about continuity, story elements and etc. It's really the best of both worlds. Okay, so basically they just don't want it all to be consistent. They just want to go ahead and put a lot of this stuff out there and to put in like certain narratives and everything just to make more money, or to reach out to like people who were like basically Twitter. All right, so and David Zaslav, he was, when he came in the picture, he was like, yeah, and I'm not all for that. So continuing on, I'll be honest, I like Joker. Okay, I like Joker, and I'm looking forward to like Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn in the next Joker movie. Okay, but at the same time, with this whole multiverse stuff, it's like I don't know. I mean, are you going to do it right? You know, are you like, I'm curious, like, what is David Zaslav going to do about it now that he's taking over? Okay, so Joker became a standout of the multiverse strategy, earning more than $1 billion in spite of its R rating and lack of any big superhero CGI slugfest. The filmmakers behind Joker have claimed that Hamada did not see the potential in the pitch. I remember that when they presented it, but the movie went forward nevertheless, and now has a sequel planned for 2024. All right, so he basically saw it as, you know, he didn't really think much of it. He didn't really expect much from it and everything, that it was going to be a big hit. You know, it was going to be, it was going to be critically acclaimed, but not big enough to be like superhero movie big enough, you know. But little did he know, people love Joaquin Phoenix. People love, you know, the Joker. He underestimated how much people love the Joker, and they're curious to see about this one take of the Joker based on what they saw in the trailer, the origin story, like how it's going to be put out there. And when they saw it, it got like a big response, a big positive response from the audience. Okay, and he's just another president who underestimated something, just like Kevin Feige did with Black Panther. But my thing is, I'm glad that he's not going to be around for a Joker 2, because of the fact that they might try to, with this film, the same way Marvel Studios did with Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Okay, just change it, a lot of stuff up to include, and that just doesn't make any sense. It just probably wouldn't even work either. Okay, so one of Hamada's main characters during this time at DC Films has been Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg. The Justice League actor was the first to call attention to Joss Whedon's toxic on-set behavior during the film's production and has consistently made the argument that Warner Brothers execs, including Hamada, John Berg, and Jeff Johns, did not take his complaints seriously enough to act fast enough to protect the cast. Now, yeah, those names I brought up before, John Berg and Jeff Johns, when I talked about how Zack Snyder didn't give them credit on his cut of the Justice League, okay? Because of the fact that they didn't say they had the same vision, and the fact that we, learned before that, they didn't take Ray Fisher's complaints about Joss Whedon seriously shows that they're basically Team Sarnoff. All right, we saw whose team they were on, and it's like I'm telling you right now, they weren't on the audience's side, and they definitely weren't on his side either. Okay. And the fact that, they didn't really take it that seriously, it's like now that's how they got a bad name for themselves. Okay. So quite frankly, I'm glad that Walter Hamada is leaving soon, or maybe David Zaslav just basically told him that, I'm not renewing your contract, or you got to go after this and da. Okay. And, or maybe he just saw that, he didn't like the direction that David Zaslav is going with the company, DC Studios, and so on and so forth. But either way, I'm honestly glad that he's gone. I wish the best for him in the future, for his future endeavors. But this right here, you got to get your whole political motivation out. Okay. I don't know whether he had any motives politically or what, but it's like, if whatever he did, he got to fix it fast. All right. So let me know your thoughts in the video. What do you think about all this big move? How do you feel about this news? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you enjoy what I shared in this video, please give this video a like and share this all over social media to everybody that you know as well as don't know. And also, if you haven't done so, and if you enjoy all my content I put out there, please subscribe to this channel and click the bell notification so that way you'll be updated of future uploads. Until then, peace.